Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back. Welcome. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Welcome. How na day? I hope you guys are doing well. We have a fantastic show lined up today. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Let's make sure of that before I keep talking. All right, we're looking good. How's everybody doing? Good. Today we're talking about Idibia, Annie Two-Face ex-wife to be. We're going to talk about that. But before we get into that, we have some other stories that we probably should cover first. We have a lot going on. A lot has been trending. And a lot of stuff that we can absolutely learn from has been trending. Okay. So we have Natasha is trending. We have Andrew Tate is trending. We have just Adetoun slash Tunde Onakoya was trending earlier on today. And just a lot going on, that we could probably learn one or two things from as we're having fun at the same time. All right, so do me a favor though, hit the like button. Let's ping everybody else into the room. Cherish Olivia, how you doing? How are you? She said, glad I'm catching a live show today. I'm glad you are, so we're not consistent enough, but we're here. And shout out to Isabel Chukura, good to see you as well. All right, so I wanted to cover some of the story and just catch some crews and then just catch up with you guys. There's a lot going on, but as much as possible we try to get here and just cover those things. Okay. We definitely should talk about Natasha versus Akpabio today in particular. Later on today, in fact, there's a threat for her to be arrested. We're going to talk about that as well. And like I said, we're going to talk about just Adetoun. We're going to talk about, if you don't know what that is, I'll bring you up to speed on what that is. We're going to talk about Tunde Onakoya, then we'll talk about Annie. So what should we go with first? Should we go with Annie Idibia first? What would you like us to go with first? I'm all ears. I'm ready whenever you're ready. I think we should go with let me see. I'm not even sure if I can find that video. Okay. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, I think I found the video. Yeah. All right, I think we should go with Adetoun first. Welcome, the Mama 5. Good to see you. Welcome. All right, so without any further ado, we're just gonna dive right in. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, welcome back. I'm gonna play this video, then we'll talk. Okay. Listen to this video. There's a lady called Adetoun, just Adetoun. The first time I stumbled into her person was even as far back as 2019. When was it? 2019, 2023, when Showore first ran for president. She just came out of nowhere, started accusing Showore of stealing money or something. Anyway, she shows up as a crazy person quite often. But let's listen to this.
An eye on her face now, and I'm going to submit it to the estate, and I'm going to submit it to the estate security. If you want to come and do your job, you do your job, but you don't bring an 11-year-old girl as early as 4:35, 6 for child labor. Do we understand that? Do we understand? I'm not going to listen to your predicaments today. I can give you time to listen to your predicaments, but don't ever bring this girl out. Drop the broom, go and sit down there. Sit down there. Until you're done, then you can go back home with her. Is that okay? Yes. You come here how many times a day?
There's one Monday to Saturday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay. So that means that peradventure, I might still jam her again. Right.
She's only during the holidays, but she's going to school.
Okay. Good morning. Okay. She's going to school.
Yes, because today is public holiday, that's why she followed me.
So who is supposed to stay with her at home?
She's supposed to stay with her younger ones,
How old are the younger ones?
8 and 6 years.
So who is staying with them now?
Yes, my husband.
Your husband is staying with them at home. Okay. So why are you here? Why did you come all the way from Oworo to Ikoyi to be sweeping by 5 a.m.?
There's someone that connected me to the room.
Okay. So it's a job that pays you. Okay. So very well. That means there's no issue. So if that be the case, she's not part of this. Okay? Child labor is wrong. You can tell her to sweep the premises where she lives, your house, the living room. That's training. But not you bringing somebody all the way from Yanoworo to Ikoyi to come and be sweeping. Is not allowed. Okay, madam? If you try it again, if I see her, that's the last day you will see your daughter. We're going to take her into custody where she'll be properly taken care of. Because I want to assume that you cannot afford to take care of this child. That's why you're exploiting her now. Do we understand that? Thank you. I'm going to put an eye on her face now.
All right. Great. So I got some more video. I can see Cherish Olivia already said, I don't agree with her. Please elaborate. Cherish Olivia said, that's rubbish. Elaborate. I think I'm on your side. Elaborate though. Let me know why you don't agree with her. So but there's more videos on this topic. I definitely don't agree with her too, but I'll come back to that. And then there's this video.
My humble self, as a mother, and as somebody who has pledged their loyalty.
So she got dragged after that video. But let me go through some of this comments here, and then we'll take it from there. She definitely got dragged, especially the Nigerians who drag her. Maybe a quote-unquote fake Americanized person might say, oh yeah, child labor, blah blah blah. Well, like anything, I always say, there's no straight line in any of this kind of stuff. There's no absolutes, right? There are all types of nuances. That's why when you get to a court of law, there's a judge that will also apply their discretion to, even though there's constitutions, there's laws, and those laws are in black and white. Even at that, there are still judges. Sometimes there's a whole jury that have to deliberate on, depending on how criminal somebody's act has been, before they can decide how far they're going to go with making the heavy weight of the law to bounce on somebody. So we have to be very careful when we're approaching this type of issue. Somebody said, at this age, I was helping my grandmom to hawk orange. This is interesting. I think I know this person. Wow. She's King Michi. I think she's a brand. She said, I was helping my grandmom to hawk orange, and honestly, I see nothing wrong with it. Somebody said, take this video down. You just humiliated a starving mother. Yes, the child is young, but the mother wasn't using her. The mother and the girl are working to put food on their table. To even believe you just made the girl thinking her mother is being wicked to her. Many of us grow up to do menial jobs with our parents, thus making us strive hard to not let a poor family come through us. Take this video down. We have seen you and heard you. Now let's talk about how to assist them. When I first funny enough, I need to hide this one. Funny enough, a lot of people believe that, when you both people, when we get to America, this will never happen. It's a lie. That's a lie, by the way. When I was 18 years old when I came back to America to live permanently. And our family friend, who I call them my cousins, you guys have met her. Bola was 17 years old at that time, and she was already working Baskin Robbins. She was already working at McDonald's, even though she was a senior in high school. So this old thing that if you do on your board, this thing would never happen. There's no black and white in any of this stuff. It doesn't matter what culture you go. That's why I said calm down. If you just discovered Oyinbo for the first time and you feel like you're American, just calm down. At the end of the day, we're human beings, and there's exception to every rule. There are exceptions to every rule. So even as far back as then, the little brother was already working, 15, 16, yes, they weren't working to necessarily support their parents, but they worked, and the state permitted it, for them to work at that time. They can only work a certain number of hours. There's some restrictions around it, but they allow them to work. So there's no way, shape, or form you're going to take this that you're going to make it an absolute. How much more she's helping her parent. But before I continue the video, let me come to Cherish the point. We Nigerians always help out our parents in anything they do, especially if she was not left alone to do it. Exactly. She only made the child help her with what she does for a living. Exactly. It is not child labor. I beg. Nigeria is a poor country. The woman is trying to survive. Babe wins. Hit the like button that you're coming in. Welcome, welcome. Babe wins says Adetoun should go and sit down somewhere, Jerry. She's doing a schedule. All right. So I've always known her to be on the internet. I don't know her personally. To be a schedule. A lot of her schedules. You can have good intentions. Some people say she's cloud chasing. I don't want to put too much focus on that. I want to put some focus on the Asheju part, the doing too much part, the I too know part. That's what I want to put some attention on. See, when you know something, just remember that just knowledge enough is not good enough. You need application wisdom behind every type of knowledge that you have. When you are privileged, you feel you are smarter than others. Okay, somebody says, but you are filming a minor and putting her up on the internet is dang wrong. See, two wrongs don't make it right. See, when you're pointing fingers, if you spend a lot of energy pointing fingers, three of those fingers, at least three of them are pointing at you. Unless there's something wrong with your fingers, at least three of them are pointing at you. She's a minor, filming without showing her face. And not showing your own face for that matter, right? Somebody said, guy, this isn't child abuse. Stop abusing your office. Be civil. Being civil is more of what I want you to work on rather than being right. Okay? Being diplomatic is what I want you to work on rather than being right. Being socially intelligent is what I want you to work on. Being emotionally intelligent are the things I think are better to work on, because at the end of the day, this life no balance. So there, take it easy. I know you know a lot. What is wrong? What is right? Trust me, I know. If you're here and you're watching Man of Prestige, the Prestige family, you're part of us from time to time. I know you're a very intelligent person. I have no doubt about that. But there's a big old but. Okay. All right. Be civil. It's her biological daughter. You can't love the daughter more than her. All right. So the audacity, the right that you think you might have, possibly to put a camera in somebody's, why would that woman be looking at her like that? And she felt helpless. Probably because she saw her in a nice car. Probably because of poverty. Probably because, there's just a lot going on with that society already, which is why she needs to be a lot more compassionate if she's going to address anything, quote unquote, anything that's wrong. You still need to be compassionate with addressing those kind of things, especially if children are involved, especially if that's what you are precisely preaching. You don't embarrass a mom in front of her kids, no matter what. It's wrong. I don't know if a lawyer can take this up and sue the woman for posting a minor without the parents' consent on the internet. Enough. This is where we help this woman. Anyway, so I think there's a lot of people trying to help the woman now, and Tunde Onakoya is also. Tunde Onakoya is the famous chess player who was actually in New York not too long ago. I think last July. No, actually, it was during COVID. It's already going to 1 year. When it was actually playing in the middle of Times Square here. It was a big event. It's now known around the world. It's a world class chess player, and he saw it. He made some statements. I'll read that in a few minutes here. Somebody said, okay, enough. This is where we help this woman. Look how healthy. Oh, I was going to say, the reason why I'm highlighting is because a lot of people are helping the woman now. So this has actually happened to be a blessing in disguise for her. Look how healthy that child and mom looks for doing a job as this. It only means she's a good mom, and if she was in a better position, that child would have had better. I'm ready to support this family. I'll be on the lookout for a way to send them money. Let the internet do this thing. I think if you go follow Just Adetoun, she eventually posted a bank account and she repented. To be fair to her, after she was dragged on the internet, she eventually repented. Someone said, this Adetoun lady is not well at all. You degraded the woman in front of her daughter. You put the woman down. You destroyed that girl's respect towards her mother. You tore that woman's covering in the glare of not just the estate, but that child, her peers, and the woman's people. You are shameless. You asked the child to go sit down when her mother has given her instructions on what to do. Well, now Unakuku, they destroyed the Nigeria pata, destroy the embarrassing, destroy. Okay, after embarrassing her, how much millions did you transfer into the account? Busybody Oshi. Anyway, Adetoun is just a cloud chaser. Again, even my wife is of this opinion. I don't doubt that she's a cloud chaser. I'd rather put the attention on what you and I can learn, because me and you were not cloud chaser. What can we learn in this? What we can learn is that as much as we know what is right and wrong, always remember that there's much more wisdom beyond right and wrong. This life is it's better when I say it to pages. This life, no balance. Okay? So no, they use that I'm right and the other person is wrong. That stuff only goes so far. Of course, we should always do the right thing, but that only goes so far. Many of us grew up assisting our parents. Making video of this poor woman is absolutely unnecessary. I remember vividly I started pounding yam at the age of 10, and these are the training that has shaped our lives. Okay, she came to help her mom. So she made a point. She said, you wake up this baby at 4:30 in the morning, that means she's not going to school. But then she went on to explain that they are off school this week. But then she posted the video anyway. So somebody said, Adetoun, this is extreme. Leave that family alone. A lot of us grew up as early as even 4:30 a.m. to wash our dishes, clean the home before prepping for school. It's been a norm for most families. Instead of harassing that poor woman and her daughter, use your activism to fight for Natasha. Speaking of Natasha, I think we should go to Natasha next. Someone says, as a 10-year-old, I helped my mom. Okay, we get the gist. Let's go to this one here. So she ended up coming out and then she posted this.
My humble self, as a mother, and as somebody who has pledged their loyalty to protecting every child. Madam, if you feel when you offended, whether you were not or you were offended, I am sorry. I'm sorry, Mama. Please, I am sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry. With all these children, I am sorry. A responsibility to protect them. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Times are hard and things are hard. Our children should not suffer some things. 90% of my life now, I work on the field. I've seen so many cases. I have seen people in the name of wanting to train a child, they beat their children, transferring aggression and frustration. I have seen people in the name of trying to say they're training their child, they exploit their children and other people help them to exploit their children. That was the motive this morning. And maybe we don't understand that things have changed and the world has changed. Our children are very, very important to us. We have agreed to help her. This is our 4 children. And what pained me the most was when I did my investigation, immediately I left her. She comes all the way from Oworo to Ikoyi for just 19,500 naira only. 19,500 per month. So you take this young girl You bring her to sweep, and she only gets paid 19,500 after 30 days. What kind of inhumanity is this? Madam, please, I want to plead with you. I want to plead with everybody. I am dedicated to what I do, but I don't mean to disrespect anyone. Anyone. We already placed her on a monthly salary, but it is not even enough with the situation of what I am seeing here. It takes nothing less than 30 minutes to walk from here to Oworoshoki bus stop before she can even get a bus. So that means this girl doesn't sleep until she wakes up as early as 3 a.m. Please, this is, even the estate chairman said they don't want it. Nobody should come to work with their children. Oga Security, can you confirm that? Yes, ma'am. Can I hear your voice at the back?
Yes. It's confirmed.
Supervisor.
It's confirmed.
Please come.
What confirmed?
Are they supposed to come to work with their children?
No, ma'am.
So why?
Just today is holiday.
It's holiday.
Our children to help us.
Please, I beg you, people should keep the students. So once again, whichever way you all have perceived it, I apologize. No mean to disrespect any one of you, no mean to demoralize you, no mean to cause any damage to your mental health, neither to mine. But our children need to stay protected regardless of what we are going through. That is why there's a difference between being a woman and a mother. We cry, but in the face of our children, we are strong. In the face of our children, we can go extra miles. But when we expose these children, you also have to put a mental health. A lot of children grew up in this society having memories, being traumatized. They grew up being wicked. They grew up being vulnerable to so many things. And this is just because the way their parents expose them. So sometimes exposing these children is not training them. Exposing these children is demoralizing them, dehumanizing them. So once again, please, I apologize. Madam, once again, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Somebody said they want.
Thank you, Jesus. Oh,
Yes, I believe. Yes, I believe. Yes, I
when he told me that somebody wrote it, I said, hey, God. Hello, ma. Hello, ma.
Actually, this side.
I'm going to put her account number there. However you all feel we should uplift her, help her and bless her. It's up to you all. But the most important part, we do this every day, but I don't like to post. We just need to do the needful. But if you all feel she needs that help and that support, please, it's up to you. Her husband doesn't even have a job. So she's just taking 19,500 naira every month, coming all the way from Oworo to Ikoyi. So that means you spent everything on transport. It is well. Let me just say it is well. Sorry, I apologize. I remain humble. I apologize, please. I remain humble. I apologize. I remain humble and I apologize.
Thank you so much.
My humble self.
All right, there you have it. At the end of the day, it's an inspiring story because by now she's received a lot of help. You can see Tunde Onakoya. If you don't know who that is, let me see if I can find him here. Tunde Onakoya. So Tunde Onakoya, that's this guy right here. He's a Nigerian professional chess player and coach. He's 30 years of age, he's a big guy now, but he also trains a lot of kids how to play chess. You can see him here playing chess in the middle of Times Square. some months ago. So he said, extremely cruel to humiliate a mother in front of her daughter like this. Even worse than this, that this was recorded and posted on social media. My mother used to sweep people's houses and gutters in 2016. It hurt too much that I could not do nothing, that I could do nothing financially to stop her. I often insisted on going with her just to help fetch the water she needed so we could finish quicker and get back home before daylight. I didn't want anyone to see us. The poverty that pushes one to hide their labor in the dark is a painful one. Yes, that child should not be working, but more than outrage, what she and her mother deserve is compassion. The only humane response is to help. If no one has done this already, I would like to take full responsibility for the girl's education through university. I hope this eases the burden in some way. These are incredibly hard times. Our privilege blinds us in ways we'll never truly understand. I think we should. That's a nice, because I saw just the beginning. I was like, okay, this would be nice to start the show with today. The Momo 5 says, to our Nigerian people, she chased clout, but her clout has opened the door that woman never thought she would get. Exactly. So we must, no matter where we fall here, we must always just stay calm. If we need to correct a person, either we're correcting this lady who took her daughter to work at 4:30 a.m. or we are correcting Adetoun. The same behavior applies, right? We have to do it with compassion, knowing that all in all things work together for good. Just keep that at the back of your mind. But when you see something that's wrong, yes, you should correct it, but you should know that you do no one any good when you correct from a place of spite, from a place of malice, and which a lot of judgmental people do. In fact, I think more of a story I should cover right now will probably be the story of this old Femi Lazarus, and let me see if I can find it quickly. Yeah, let's just do that. The MOGs versus ministers. Yeah, this is another story entirely, but yeah, let's bring that up to speed. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe. Let's wake up. It simply put, the algorithms is not sending notifications to people. I've warned you, if you're here right now and you want to be notified, check back here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Every day I drop videos. The more you check manually, the more the algorithms will work for you. Okay, I'm not gonna chase algorithms. I'm sorry. I have better things I could do with my time, but I really want you to be here as much as I'm creating content. I promise. It's just I'd rather just focus on the content, and drop it here so that you can find it whenever you get here. All right, so with that being said, I'll be right back with the MOG versus music ministers.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, welcome back, everybody. So we're talking about MOG versus music ministers. What's MOG? Man of God. The man of God, including people like the Oyakilomes, and they made some over the past few weeks. I didn't get a chance to cover it. It was trending last week. So let's listen to this.
The media to project an invoice, I don't know what to call it, of a music minister in Nigeria. This is the invoice. So this is it. Let me read what is there. Minister will be accompanied with a minimum of 40 persons. They will all return the day after the event. All right, 4 male members, travel arrangement. Flight will be booked for both the outbound and return journeys. Artists will fly first class compulsory. Team will fly economy. Hotel reservation must be covered by the church. Executive suite for the minister. 2 executive rooms for the 4 males. Meal must be provided for minister and the accompanying person, preference will be given to Nigerian cuisine. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Honorarium, listen, $10,000. Mode of payment, a non-refundable 50% payment has to be made before we can have this event on our calendar. The balance of 50% must be made 2 days before the event. Thank you. May God bless you. The mistake on that stuff is the word honorarium. The media to project.
All right, so all right, so what has been happening is that the church, the ministers, the big ministers of God especially, led by the Oyakilome, Pastor Chris Oyakilome, they had been at odds with music ministers, the likes of Mercy Chinwo, as you know, over the last month as well. Mercy Chinwo was being dragged by VDM, by her record label, and all this kind of stuff. A lot of people will start to call them, people that call themselves the men of God or ministers of God, is all about money for them, blah, 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 blah. All right, so of course, Timmy Dakolo answered Femi Lazarus, said, Nigerians, you should believe everything you see. You shouldn't, I guess. Nobody has a 40-man crew in Nigeria. Name the artist in order to justify capping. So Timmy Dakolo is basically saying, stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
All right, so Uncle Patrick, how are you, sir? Yeah, so let's talk. Let me read some of these comments, okay? Because this is a lot of stuff to say. It's Helen Paul, a comedian. She said, na simple yes or no, Baba Fela. If they are coming with a drama group, backup singers, instrumentalists, and technical guys, please just tell the artist you have a DJ. That's all. Thank you, and may God bless you. Right? That's a nice one. Somebody said, Timmy is taking this personal. I hope it's not you, sir. Oops. Timmy Dakolo is the guy who sang Olufemi. That song, No, Timmy doesn't have a 40-man crew. He's not. Timmy is just. It tends to be well balanced, if you will. Somebody said, Timmy, please sit this one out. We believed you and your wifey that year. You see, they're using their trauma to shame him. The wife was the one who accused Reverend Fato Ibo of sexual harassment that year. Actually, sexual assault. Anyway, Nigerians on the internet, don't forget. So why shouldn't we believe him? It's not a matter of believing him. A 40 man, you should use your sense. Does that make any sense? That you would complain about a person that chooses to walk around, a musician of 40 people. No. Not if it makes sense to have a 40-man band. You can have a 40-man band if it works for your business, regardless if you are singing in the name of Jesus or not. If it works for you, you can use it. If people are paying for it, that means the demand for it and they are paying for it. You supply it, right? Does it make sense for someone to be complaining about it? That's where I want to apply sense now. Anyway, somebody says Sinach own fit reach you. I swear, minus backups and instrumentalists. Sinach, they carry media crew waka. Full media crew. All her ministrations are packaged as live in concert. Because she's Sinach. Hello. She's Sinach. Her song is sung in every mega church in America. She has the right to say, I want a 100-man band. And if you like it, this is the numbers. Why are the numbers right now? And we show up. Any price. It gets too much nonsense. I don't believe in that. It gets too much. If it gets too much, show it by not paying for it. Demonstrate that by simply not paying for it. But other people will pay for it. Exactly. That means you can't afford it. Don't bring Jesus into it. Don't bring emotional manipulation into it. That's what Timmy is trying to say. Somebody said, I said this to my sister yesterday. We know all the popular gospel artists in Nigeria and I have not seen any band members of 40. You are dwelling on the 40 thing too much. Maybe it's a slip of pen when they wrote 40. It doesn't matter. The point here is that somebody is complaining about supply and demand. That is a problematic person. Not Femi Lazarus per se. I don't know why he got so emotional about this, but that is problematic. to complain about demand and supply. That's somebody who is arguing with their destiny. It doesn't work. It's a waste of, well, nothing's a waste. You just tell us you can't afford it. Timmy has seen himself in that invoice. Now you say man of God, the cap. Okay, now that's a good point. Timmy could be part of the 40-man group. Maybe they like to bring in their own opening act so they can warm them up. Either way, you can say yes, like Ellie Paul said, or no. Anyway, I'm not going to do that. Okay, now Timmy went forward and then released this. I'm not sure if this makes the point. Timmy Dakolo, this is actually his page. He posted, all this was said in love and with respect, sir. I am not a gospel artist, but a Christian raised in church. Let's not shift the goalpost. By your definition, if anyone charges to minister, they're not gospel artists. They're performers. Now that sentence is all types of wrong, if anybody said that. Okay. And by the definition, if any preacher charges to teach and minister, they are merchants of hope and motivational speakers and performers too. I don't see any problem in ministers of man of God being a motivational speaker. Motivational speaker, they speak hope to you, they quote the Bible, they pray overnight vigil 3 days in a row, but they are not motivation. Are we okay? It's motivational. At the end of the day, if they can't guarantee that you will get those results, and they are miracle, and when you get results, they are miracle in nature, meaning they're not replicatable, then that's motivational, because most people are not going to get the results that most people are praying about in church. Sir, you are charging as low as $150 per person. This is Timmy Dakolo talking. For your school of ministry, teaching and preaching Jesus, probably having as much as 1,000 students. Let's do the math. You even have premium and standard for God house. Are you selling the gift or revelation freely? See, when you point fingers, always remember that 3 of them are pointing at you. Should you point fingers? Yes, you should, but you should do it in love and be guided when you're pointing fingers. That's all we're saying. Let me see. Daddy Freezer would be so happy. Timmy Dakolo says, such hypocrisy. The school of ministry has expenses. This is the screenshot you're looking at. Is an email from Femi Lazarus School thanking a person who showed interest in an international school of ministry. And I quote, this training is established out of the instruction to see men discover and effectively deploy God's unique call upon their lives. We would want to bring to your notice that payment validates, meaning if you don't pay, you don't stay. You would want to bring to your notice that payment validates registration. This will close on the 1st of April 2024, after which classes will commence. 12th of April 2024. Kindly make a payment for your premium training package, $150 or 181,200 naira to the following account. And then after payment, they say dear, let me look at somebody's name. Dear Marriott, we say a hearty congratulations to you. You have certainly made a worthy investment in your life and ministry, and we're excited about the transformation that will be happening in you within the next 3 months. Kindly find attached your admission letter and course outline for International School of Ministry. The point here is like, Baba, you are charging for Jesus. Offered Nibala. Salvation is free. But the point I'm making is that all of this is just hypocrisy.
I want the media to project
Hypocrisy at best. Okay. Somebody said, please pay your gospel artists. A laborer is worthy of their wages. Even in the Old Testament, a portion of the offerings was reserved for the tribe of Judah, the worship leaders. I am disappointed in this open argument from the body of Christ. If some people are charging excessively, you are free to decide not to invite them. Don't demonize money and make it seem what they do is not valuable enough to be rewarded. It's it's beginning to look like the artists are prospering so much and the pastors are unable to control them as much as they would like. It's enough, please. All right, let me see.
I want the media.
Somebody, Plateau is a musician here in the US and a comedian. He says that artist just want chop. Now meal food there. After 10 ogufe each with the team, how them want take life God's name on high. Non-refundable just in case the pastor didn't like the ministration, Abi. This was the original post before they saw Timmy Dakolo's comments. Somebody said Pastor Nath and Dusi Oyeko get peace of mind. They are not in this category. Not necessarily. Pastor, so the point this person is making is that Pastor Nathaniel Bassett and Dusi Oyeko have decided not to charge to come to your church. I don't know exactly how they can afford that, but I'm sure they have a business model that works for them. You notice what I just said? A business model that works for them. Somebody is paying for something. Okay, let's all get off the high horse. Somebody is paying for something. Somebody's paying for the light bills. Somebody's paying for something. I don't know what it is. Somebody's food. Somebody's eating. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. Especially Pastor Nathaniel Bassey. Somebody was saying the other day, I think it was Pastor Wale Adenuga that was saying that he can sit jejely because nobody knows him, because he's a songwriter from before there was social media, you know. The wonder, that song, the person that wrote those series of songs back then before there was social media. His name is Pastor Wale Adenuga. And you know, he was being interviewed by Chudi. If you go look at the last 3 interviews by with Chudi, right, you will see him there. And he was saying that he can fly economy. If he's going to America, he can just fly economy. Nobody is questioning. But someone like Nathaniel Bassey cannot fly economy. Why? Because it's Nathaniel Bassey. Not because he wants to charge big money for first class or business class. It's because he's not going to sit with regulars. Not because he's prideful. I'm trying to explain this properly. He will have better peace of mind flying 9 hours flight into America or 7 hours into UK when he sits in first class. Okay, when he can take the other corner and enter the air flight and take the other angle and go through the special places, right? He can pray much more closely with God, so he can come and minister properly. Why? Because he's Olowo Gbogboro crooner, 500,000 live streaming at the same time on Instagram, on YouTube. See, when you become that kind of person, it's not necessarily a matter of choice that you charge certain amount of money. Your lifestyle, everything becomes more expensive, not by way of cash only. No, see, this is what I keep telling people. People think this is just about their sense of morality. There's a lot more that goes into what we call life than your personal experience. You could be Nathaniel Bassey. You can't relate with somebody at regular. You could be a regular. You cannot relate with Nathaniel Bassey. That's just how life works. Okay? And somebody like Oyakilome is supposed to know better. Let me play this video.
To save our brothers and sisters who are into music, because this is an area that Satan easily lures them into the wrong things in life. And then once he's able to separate them, he destroys them. Because it's separation. He separates them and destroys them. Do you see people who never knew anything? Everything they ever knew, we taught them. Then we give them a platform.
They never knew anything. Shout out to Pastor Chris Oyakilome. How many people remember him during the 5G era, during COVID era? I'm just going to leave that alone. He said they never do anything. Everything they know, we taught them. I think that's applicable to all of us. Everything we ever knew, somebody taught us, but maybe he's trying to make a point. Let's just continue.
And they don't think that that was a grace given to them in the house of God. After a while, they believe they deserve it. It's not like that.
Oh, that's the point. After a while, they believe they deserve it. Yeah. Problems. You know, people in general, we just, I keep telling you, there are two things you have to watch out for. Either we're talking about relationship at this level, or you're talking about relationship at a political macro level. Two things you need to watch out for: pride and expectations. If you focus on those two things, you'll be a whole lot better off. I promise you. Okay, you will be a whole lot better off. Not just because you're taking care of other people, you too, you have better peace of mind. Because people are not, they're gonna have a hard time disappointing you. That's point what I'm saying. Without expectations, there's no such thing as disappointment. I hope that makes sense. I really do. Without expectations, there's no disappointment. Let's listen to this. Let's see if he's saying something here.
Because the church was playing games. The church lost their way of worship. The churches were turned into party places, not prayer places where God's word was truly celebrated. No.
What do you mean by church party places? What do you mean by that? Maybe this is what he meant. Honestly, I struggle I personally, this is my personal struggle. I struggle to know why anybody would hate on the party I was just looking at right now. I don't get it. God help me. See, I don't know everything. I promise you. This one I struggle with, but maybe Marriott has the answer. Marriott says you book them because they bring you business. Sorry, congregation. Pastorpreneurs can choose not to book them and use their own cheaper musicians. Yeah. Which are usually free, by the way. Why are they free? Is it because they're not worth something? No, it's not because they're not worth something. Oh, actually, you're right. They're actually not worth anything. If they were, they would be charging too. Let's keep going.
Everything changed. The music in the church became worldly. They danced for themselves and celebrated themselves, not God. How many of those singers were soul winners? They were never soul winners. They will lead praise in the church, and when it's time for prayer, they're out. They've gone to another church to do another song. They were professionals, making money from the church, charging for their singing, pretending they were singing praise to God. It was all a charade.
All right, so I'm fully disconnected from whatever he's talking about, because that, what I was just looking at, yes, at the same time, it looks like a party, but it looks like somebody was praising God too. But maybe there's something that everybody else knows that I don't know. But let's keep going.
On different controversies.
This is Olumide Emmanuel.
Should they pay? Should they not pay music minister? I say people are just confused. If I let me even deal with that now, so that I can answer some questions. So listen to me.
Welcome to Pastor's.
Why are you interrupting it now, Uncle? Okay.
One of us comes into the church to serve God as our Father and our Creator. And
shout out to this uncle, Pastor
operate as a family. So as a family, when we come into this family, which is called the church family, we all look into what needs to be done in the house, and whatever. I'm standing before you right now to tell you, me, Olumide, Emmanuel, and the leaders, the pastors are here. Anybody that charges me money to come and sing or preach will not climb this pulpit. Why? You are not supposed to charge for the work of God. Why?
By the way, uh your boss at work, that CEO that owns the company where you work for, they're using your gift of God to create profit. It's not just church. It's easy to pick on church, but yeah, there's Lord. Let me play this one. Listen to this one. Let's listen to this one.
On different controversies that go on. Should they pay? Should they not pay music minister? I say people are just confused. If I let me even deal with that now so that I can answer some questions. So listen to me so that I can help all people understand. Number one, this is a church. And it's a church of God. And every one of us comes into the church to serve God as our Father and our Creator. And we operate as a family. So as a family, when we come into this family, which is called the church family, we all look into what needs to be done in the house, and whatever we have the ability to do, the giftings to do, we do as part of our contribution to the family. So when people come, they join a department. They are in ushering, they are in choir, they are in children's church, they are in security. None of them should be paid for serving God. So I'm not supposed to pay you because you are an usher. I'm not supposed to pay you because you are in children's church. Hello, I'm not supposed to pay you because you came to church and you greet people. I'm not supposed to pay you because you come to church and you are a protocol. Why? Because everybody is working for God. In the same vein, I'm not supposed to pay you because you play the instruments in church. So all these people you see there, we don't pay them. Why? I don't believe that I should pay you to come to church.
Wait until what's his name? Pastor Paul Adefarasin finds them. Wait until he finds an opening for them. Demand and supply.
On Sunday morning to worship God and play your part in the church. I don't believe in that. And we don't pay anybody. All these people, clap for them, celebrate them. We don't pay nobody. Hello? Why? Because
let me explain that. You could be in a church where you have multiple musicians, right? Multiple musicians that can play the same thing, right? So if you have too many people competing for the same position to share their gift, right? It makes sense that you don't pay them. It doesn't mean that they're not using that to get blessings in other ways. It doesn't mean that it's not blessing them in other ways outside of monetary blessings. You know, just because you play for Pastor Olumide Emmanuel's church, that could mean other source of income for you as a church during the week. As a matter of fact, you could also choose to say, you know what, I'd rather do this for church for free, right? You know, but guess what happens if you find yourself as a church in a position where you have an instrument, a simple keyboard, and you can't find anybody to play, but you have 3 people, but they're willing to charge. You say, hey, how much are they charging? $300 a piece per weekend. Okay, all right, $300 a piece per weekend. Since they're all charging equal, we're going to look for the best musician, and we're going to hire that best musician. What is that? Demand and supply. What's the demand? The demand is kind of flipping in because all of them are $300 level, right? But now there's oversupply of $300 pieces, so is the best player may win, right? But what happens if all 3 of them are free and they would like to play for a Pastor Olumide Emmanuel's church? Then it becomes Pastor Olumide is the one who is supplying, and there's a demand. These are things that we don't need to overcomplicate before we can simply, like, don't stop shaming, like this indirect shaming. It's not going to work, because at the end of the day, if, like I said, if Paul Adefarasin or somebody has an opening for them and they could charge for it, they're going to go. It's only a matter of time. Are there some exceptions, some that will not go? Yes, but that person is one person too, right? They're one person. God forbid something happens to them, they turn 100 years old and they go to where old people go. Will you still not need other instrumentalists? Let's humble ourselves in any of these topics. It doesn't matter if we're talking about church, if we're talking about just Adetoun, any one of these things. Let's humble ourselves in how we handle these things. Mara says, okay, to enrich your pastors, but not the musicians. There is God. My dad is part of a very famous church and came from a not so famous church. He has been paid since he was in his 20s. He is the choir master and plays the organ for his church. See? Does Pastor Olumide get any types of funds from the church? Does he provide an annual financial to his church? Here's the thing. He might argue that I don't get paid from my church. It doesn't change the principle of demand and supply. He might even argue, say, I don't get paid from my church, so I don't think anybody should get paid. Clap for yourself, sir. It doesn't change the principle. It's demand and supply, right? It doesn't mean, like, if we start to dig through it, you probably enjoy from your church, which is, the point I'm making is that it is perfectly fine to actually be able to take care of yourself from serving the people. No, but it's God's gift. Like, no, stop. All of it is God's gift. Just stop for a second. Relax. It's all God's gift. All of this, everything that's good, God made them. All of it, gift. You can call them any name and sugarcoat the name all you want. You can call them kingdom, whatever you want to call them. They're all gifts from God. You cannot use that to negate the principles that govern this life.
It's a family. If I decide to collect money, Pastor Abraham decides to collect money, all of us begin to collect money. We won't have money to do many things. So
you will. That's literally making money the God. Okay? You're not a slave to the money. It's the other way around. This money is supposed to be the slave to you. Just because you collect money doesn't mean you won't have money to do a lot of things. It's all in money management. It's all in resourcefulness. It's not in if you collect money or not. You can choose not to collect money, but that's not why the church is able to have money to do things. And I know that Pastor Olumide has made good arguments for what I'm saying in the past. So this one is a completely, I don't know what is going on with him in this preaching, but it's completely misguided. It's off. I usually like his take on things. This one is off. It's completely wrong.
As a pastor, I'm also coming to serve God, and then I have businesses that I do. But not every pastor can do that. So those that are working in the kingdom should be paid. So if you are a musician in church and you want to be a part of the staff, you should be paid.
Okay, see?
So we have people in this church
who are staff.
That are staff.
Okay.
Some of them, all they do is they come to pray, to evangelize, and to do follow-up, and we pay them. So they are spiritual staff. There are people here, all they do is ministry. They come to resume, and then they go for evangelism. Somebody wants to do naming ceremony. Somebody is in the hospital. We pay them. So everyone that is in the music ministry, if someone now says, I want to be a full-time music minister, we will pay you.
Not necessarily true. Okay. Now, nice dribbling there. Nice dribbling, right? Because at one point, I should have listened to this thing fully to understand where it's coming from. Right? But then he ended up here. He said, if you suddenly want to be full-time minister, we'll pay you. No. What if everybody's want to be full-time minister? No, you won't pay them. You will only pay them when you see value in them. How do you see value in them? That is a function of demand and supply. And is there enough supply that we will now have to pay you? If we have other people that we don't have to pay, Baba, go and find a job. That's the reality. That is more of the driving force. The driving force is not if you choose, I want to be a full-time minister. Of course not. We have to look at if somebody else can do what you... This is very simple. If somebody else can do what you do much, much cheaper, you'll be replaced. Some people are afraid that AI is going to replace their job. Yes, potentially. If you continue to be as more expensive than AI, yes, you'll be replaced. It's very simple. This is not a church thing. It's life. It's actually basic economics. It's basic economics. So again, they're making arguments to justify what doesn't need to be justified. It's very simple. If you are easily replaceable, you will replace you. It's very simple. Okay? And it's not just the money. Money is just one little element of it. It's about value. Can we get better for cheaper? Very simple.
Do you understand? Which is what I've offered Lifeline Choir. It is when I offered, they now realize that, because let's not play games with each other. The people that come to church have a job they do Monday to Friday where they collect their salary. So when they come to church on Sunday, because they already have a source of living, when they come on Sunday morning, they are coming to worship God. So if you are a music minister, what are you doing from Monday to Friday? So I would rather teach you that's your ability to play keyboard, that's your ability to play saxophone. What did you enjoy our guys the saxophone this morning? Let's put our hands together for them. That was very creative and very another flavor. That was good. Now look at all those guys now. Look
Pastor Chris said, nah, that wasn't good. That was a party. We don't need
at them now. Can you imagine now all of them now say, because I come on Sunday, pay me. So everybody go call after backup singer to go say, because I have a voice, pay me. So some of these things.
No. People always make this argument. Backup singer say, because I like, but you pay keyboardist too. No, that's not how it works. If you're, it doesn't matter if it's keyboard or backup singer, whichever one you are, if you are easily replaceable, right? If I can pay cheaper to other resourcefulness or resources and get the same result, I will always go cheaper. Why not just pay people what's fair? What do you mean by fair? Define fairness, because I'm confused. Because it's an open marketplace. Oh no, but the church is not open marketplace. No, you're wrong. It's an open marketplace, and if you're easily replaceable, then you better find other ways to bring value. Sometimes the way you bring value is charge cheaper. Okay. Sometimes the way you bring value is actually to charge more. Psychology is involved. Now, we're not going to get into that, okay? But the point here is that this conversation is one of those conversations that's basically dead on arrival. I just think the pastors are on a power trip. One rule for me, but another for you. They won't pay you. No, they're not going to pay you jack. If you don't have value, it's value for value. That's what it comes down to. Uncle Patrick says, why are we not seeing this in Catholic, Anglican, Baptist, but only in Pentecostal? It's okay to hire them as a musician without attachment to the church. If we dig in deeper into the Orthodox churches, as we call them, by the way, the label Orthodox belongs in the 90s. The Orthodox church today is probably the Pentecostal, right? If we go with that argument and we say, why not? If we dig in deeper into Catholic or Anglican, the old time churches, it still comes down to the same argument: value. That society, value is in the eyes of the beholder. Value has to be defined with respect to context, as always, like anything else. So what context are we talking about? How were those churches founded? How were they established? What kind of doctrine do they follow, right? The reality is that in Anglican, in Catholic, those clergymen, they do receive salary, right? And if they are replaceable, they probably won't receive salary. Now, if there's certain schools, as we know, that they have to go through, then they have to go through certain schools, seminaries, and all this kind of stuff to become who they are. This is like their life. This is their life. So, of course, they're going to pay them salary. What about musicians? Did people value music the way we value music back then? Or even now to today? If you go to Anglican church in Akure, my hometown, if you go to Catholic church, they value music. They play. If you go to Catholic church here, they don't have any instrument. I don't even think they. If you see an organ in a Catholic church here, usually nobody's even playing it. It's just decoration because it's a church. And a lot of those churches, old people go there. Eventually, they sell it to a Niger church. Some of those churches are being sold to Niger churches now. So again, it's value. The people we're dealing with, your audience, what is it that they value? You serve them. Okay, you serve them. It is not about how much money. If you're replaceable, you charge them. The value you're bringing is cheaper and cheaper. If you bring in premium, the value sometimes that you bring from a psychological standpoint is if you charge premium. Some people, when you say your price is more money, suddenly they see more value just because it's now saying exclusive, right? So it's just a deeper conversation, but at the end of the day, it's basic economics, demand and supply. If there is a supply, right? So if there's a demand, supply will meet it. It's not something that any one individual can decide. It's something that the marketplace generally decides, They can use it as a side also. Yep. My dad attended an Orthodox church for 50 years. He was paid. See, that's another angle. So some people were actually paid. So in those Orthodox churches, you have one organist that might be paid for decades. I think that's what Marriott is talking about. I know those people. They were paid for decades, right? Until they go to where old people go to. And then usually that church is probably becoming obsolete too. But there's nothing that has a beginning that doesn't have an end. That's something that all of us to pay attention to in all of this conversation. If you're a pastor right now and you feel like ministers are with you and they should not go anywhere else, I don't know. That kind of ownership is kind of scary too. There's a word that's coming to mind. I don't want to use that word. I'm not going to use the word, but let me come back to this one. The people that started this conversation was Femi Lazarus, and Timi Dakolo. Eventually, this was March 24, Femi Lazarus posted this. Oh, let me follow him. I like Femi, actually. I like Femi Lazarus. But I like Femi Lazarus. I like Olumide Emmanuel. They tend to be balanced. But to be honest with you, I've never really listened to a full sermon. Okay? When you talk too much, you say nonsense. All of us. Okay? So, he said, my brother, Timi Dakolo. So he posted a picture of Timi Dakolo and him and said, my brother, Timi Dakolo, is a music legend. Give him his flowers. What a man. He genuinely carries the burdens of musicians. His concerns are real. I love you. Better structures will be built. Pain is real. From pulpit to the pew, the pain is real. But we will be fine. This generation will not have a carryover of pain. Hosts will do better. Guests will do better. We will have a better nation together. I don't know how to edit my brother, Pastor Iron. I like Pastor Iron too. These are new age. They're trying to figure things out, but a lot of the older stuff is spilling over sometimes. Let me see what Banky W said. I've just been waiting for this moment. Thank you, Jesus. We move. God is great. Thank you to great man. And Stephen Akintayo, who is a real estate guy, who is also a church boy, he has something to say. He said, now that I saw this on Femi Lazarus, I am ready to comment. First of all, this is a good debate. Okay, I agree it's a good debate. I do agree it's a good debate. And I thank Femi Lazarus, Timi Dakolo, and other people who have spoken on this matter. If we had done this about tithing, we wouldn't still be arguing over tithing after 5 years. If the body of Christ responded in love to anti-tithers and opened up for debate, this would have been done and dusted. See, opening something up for debate is not a religious thing. It's literally against the idea of religion. Religion is not open up for debate. Religion knows it all. There's nothing to debate. Take it or leave it, go somewhere else. It's like, is this, I think there's a part of the scripture that talks about Ashiwereyon. It's only a lunatic, I don't know the actual English, that will argue if there's God or there's no God. It's not an argument. This is personal to people. It's faith. Anything faith-based is personal to people. And for me personally, I don't like the idea of opening up for debate. Just keep it where it belongs. But when you start to talk about money, people's livelihood, you don't decide to open up for debate. People are going to debate you in Instablog Niger comment anyway. But nice try to be nice to everybody. People that argue for or against this kind of stuff, they're not trying to be nice. Okay, usually they are coming from a very personal place. They might have been traumatized by people who claim to be tithers, but they are the worst. In fact, there's a young lady that I'm gonna have to pull up here. Shola Allison, the lady who sang Ife Bi Eji Owuro Látàgbàlá Elédùmarè ló ti ṣe that lady. Let me see if I can. Okay, yeah, let me put it up. Hopefully they won't flag us. This song right here. You remember the song? All right, that song. Aha. Now back to what we're saying. Apparently, she was being dragged on the internet for the same conversation, and oh my god, she answered the trolls. She seemed like she was pissed off. Again, there's no need to get emotional about this kind of stuff. Just answer them gingerly or keep it moving. Before I come to Shola, listen. This man is trying to play love between the brothers. Let's open debate. No, there's no opening for debate. Just understand that whatever your faith says to you will never negate the laws of nature. That includes when you say something is a miracle. That's why we call it a miracle. That's why we call it a miracle at the end of the day. All right. So if you can't replicate it, then it's just a miracle, which there's room for that in life. So I'm looking at the report here that says Shola Allison says Nigerian gospel singer and songwriter. She doesn't consider herself gospel, by the way. She does say Eledumare. She does hang out with the gospel artists and all that, but she had some interesting things to say after she was being dragged into the matter. So Pana Pasipol is another guy who was very big in the 90s in terms of Nigerian gospel scene. And he has some interesting things to say against the new people. You know, they are dancing, they do galala in church, they do ogongon inside of church. Oh my God, they do all the challenges. You know, old people in general, they tend to have problems with anything that's new. That's just something that young people should know. That should be part of your emotional intelligence, young people. There's no need for you to sit around with old people and be arguing about why they're not accepting of why they're not accepting your new ways. You should look at them, look around you enough. You see patterns. They do have a pattern. If you're 40 something years of age, you know that you also tend to push against anything your kids are doing right now. It's a natural welcome, babe. It's a natural order of life. Okay, you too, if you're 20 something right now, by the time you turn 50, you might have sworn up and down like, oh, my wife used to say something. My wife will say, I do think she does have a young soul. She's looking at me right now. She's like, I'm young at heart. I do believe she is. She's looking at me right now. She is young at heart, but no matter how young at heart you are, right? Young people will do certain things and you're like, what's wrong with this ones? It's normal. So in that same token, when older people like Oyakilome, all these old people are saying, why are they dancing in church? Just walk up past, just leave them alone. They say, what is this that you're wearing? Now they're wearing these Bello jeans. Everybody's trying to dress after, what's his name? They're not like us. What's the name of the guy that rapped at the, I forgot his name now. Kendrick Lamar, right? Everybody said, what is this? Why are you guys dressed like this? I told you before. My one of my sons plaited his hair, and my parents were having a bad day because of that. And I said, I went to Google, I pulled up some 1970s stuff, and I said, what did you first of all I asked my dad, I said, did your father agree with every how you dress? He said yes. I'm like, first of all, that's cap. that's definitely cap. Immediately, of course, I didn't say that to my dad.
Stop the cap.
Oh, sorry, that was a mistake. Of course, I didn't say that to my dad, right? But and now we were eating dinner at a restaurant, and I went and I put, I said, what about this? I said, when they get to that point, you know what they do? Say, and your mother, yeah, you kids don't know anything. They will just end the call. Why are you arguing with your destiny? Okay, so if you see older people and they have these tendencies to argue with, just leave them alone. See, the older we get, this is one thing. Let me tell you like this: the older we get, the more set we are in our ways, and that's not just set in our ways. Oftentimes, we're not connected at an emotional level to this behavior. We're not like overly self-aware about it. Some of you might be self-aware, but for the most part, there's no self-awareness around it. We just say it's nonsense. We just say it's complete nonsense. You feel me? So anyway, Speaking of Shola Allison, let me come back to Shola Allison. Shola Allison, she gave it to them. She was pissed off because some people decided to troll her on the internet, and this is what she said. Okay, if I were her, I would never do that. There's no need to do that. But this is what she said. Somebody tweeted a tweet. Somebody tweeted a tweet that this Shola Allison left the chat or something like that. She can never relate a whole album and no mention of Jesus in it. Oh my God. She came back and she said, why are you people this callous and unkind? If this is what you are with your own Jesus. Hold on 1 second. Let me put our face there so you can know who we're talking about. I did play her video, but that video is old as hell. Let me see. Okay, this is Shola Allison. She's probably older than us. She's probably clocking in on 50. I don't know her exact age. All right. She said, why are you people this callous and unkind? If this is what you are with your own Jesus, I don't want to be identified with you lots. At that point, they'll say, we knew it. We knew she's not for the kingdom. That's why don't argue. You see, don't, on both sides, whoever is arguing if there's God or there's no God, they are crazy people. Just let you know right now. Can you see why really true souls who have found themselves distance themselves from you? Or is it that you are desperately looking for an addition of light souls in your dark space and you must bully them into joining you? She's talking to the Christian body. You know, she's talking to the loud ones, the judgmental ones in the comments. She said, or you have low self-esteem and you don't feel enough without me because koyemi. Because koyemi. She goes on, or the Jesus presented to you is that who has low self-esteem and looks for validation. Can't you see that you have failed already all these years? Why must I be like your fathers and mothers before you see what I am? Did I ask to be a part of you? Am I not walking my own journey and getting ahead in it? I don't want to be a part of dark souls who outwardly present Jesus. Anyone who does anything like this only calls the name and not of the name. I don't want to be a part of you bullies and manipulators. Leave me to be and face your fellow vain, shallow, and liar souls. Okay. All that is not necessary. If somebody comes and question my own relationship with my God, now I will just laugh at you. I swear. And I mean every ounce of the laugh. Every part of it, you know. But that's where the Christian body is today. Is full of I won't say it's full of. That's very good. Like I said, I like Femi Lazarus. I like Pastor Irene. I like even Olumide Emmanuel. Obviously, I like Pastor Kingsley for the great work he's doing with regards to relationships in general. But every now and then they find themselves back in this very, very judgmental spirits filled kingdom zone. And unfortunately, it's like our next conversation here. It's not gonna, that tyranny level dictatorship, it does not belong in 2025 and beyond. See what Jesus said about love. It felt like you're really, really gonna need to practice it now. Maybe the first time in your life. Yeah. Yes. You're now in a place where you might need to practice it now. You might have been able to get away with playing holier than thou for so long. If I can speak in tongues more than you, I'm probably holier than you. You might have gotten away with that for so long, but not much longer. Okay? This is applicable to any religious setting or any overly tyranny based operations like politicians, or you can't go so far because people now have louder voices than ever before, and you are now forced to listen to those voices either you like it or not. And but there's a place for respecting people's faith. There's a place for that, which is why I said if I were Shola Allison, I wouldn't respond. You can't question my relationship with God. It's literally impossible. Okay. All right. I'll be right back. Let's go into Natasha. Not the other Natasha, this other Natasha. Which Natasha are we going to talk about? Natasha Idibia or Natasha? Which one do you want us to talk about first? I'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, let's listen to this.
Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan committed any offense?
Yes, she has committed the offense of having a procession when the state government, acting on credible intelligence, directed that there should be no procession. She also addressed a rally. She will call it homecoming to greet her people about Salah. Where did they talk about Salah there? All her address were political, to incite the people against constitutional authorities at the federal level and at the state level, to create panic and tension and ensure that there is violence. That was just what happened today. So that's a clear violation of the statement and the directive of the state government. When you talk about the freedom of association has limitations. When your association is going to constitute danger and it is going to affect the rights and freedom of others, then such an association cannot be defended.
So just a moment. So I just wanted you to establish.
All right, so they are planning already to arrest Natasha Akpoti. Who is they? Who is they? Thank you, Mario. Thank you, Naira. I'm gonna share the link right now. Who is they? They are planning already. They are planning to arrest Natasha Akpoti. Listen to this. Watch this again. I'm going to play this clip.
The governor, Governor Usman Ododo, has he given any direction to that effect?
It's different from having a very small child that you give food, you put food in his or her mouth. It is different. There was a statement.
That's a hell of an analogy
from the state governor, and the security agencies were told to execute the directive. If someone has violated it, the security agencies do not need the governor again to come and give them another directive. They know what to do.
So I mean, correct this if it's right or wrong. So is the intention of the implication meaning an arrest of Senator Natasha Akpoti, or what exactly would be the implication you're talking about?
Only the security agencies will be able to answer that. They know.
All right. So this guy is the commissioner of information in Kogi State. We're talking about Natasha Akpoti, who has been thorn in their flesh for how many days now? Since, I don't know, since February 24? No, since like March 6 or something like that, right? Natu, thank you so much. Natu said them never see this coming. Gay, gay. Thank you, Natu. I appreciate you. All right, so Natasha today went to Kogi State after there were tons of announcements yesterday by the Kogi government that they cannot have a rally, that they're not allowed to have any kind of rally or public gathering in attempts to try to stop them. You're looking at this post on Instablog Nigeria's Kogi Governor Ododo. Is that Ododo or Ododo? I don't know. Is that Yoruba or Ibira? I don't know. places a ban on public gatherings, convoy movements ahead of Senator Natasha coming. Okay. So why are they doing this? We know why they're doing it. Let me see if the first comment tells us. Everybody against one woman. Natasha will become the Senate president someday. Just watch and see. All right, we shall see. We shall see. Anyway, today she made some allegations, some crazy allegations. First of all, this is how she arrived. Okay. All right. So that's how she arrived. Let me see here. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, let's just play that in. Let me do this. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. Just hold tight. I'll be right back.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, I'm back. Let me share my screen. So sometimes my browsers will hang, and I basically have to do it all over. I have to refresh my browser. All right. She arrived in an helicopter, basically. All right, and then she made this allegation. Let me play this.
I will say this, and I'm saying this openly as well. On the 14th day of March, at about 10:30 p.m. On the 14th day of March, at about 10:30 p.m., I got calls that Governor Yahaya Bello was with Akpabio. That night, let me say this now. On the 14th of March, at 10:30 p.m., mind you, 2 days before that, which was on the 12th, Akpabio had called Governor Dodo on the phone that he should commence my recall. But Governor Dodo told him it would be impossible. No, hold on. This was what Governor Dodo said on the 12th. Listen. He said, oh no! That night, let me say this now. On the 14th of March at 10:30 p.m., mind you, 2 days before that, which was on the 12th, Akpabio had called Governor Dodo on the phone that he should commence my recall. But Governor Dodo told him it would be impossible. No, hold on. This was what?
So we already know that, of course, they are cooking the recall from the Senate. But look at this crowd. Okay, look at this crowd. And they said this is actually a personal compound because they were trying to make sure that they don't break any law, even though you heard that person saying earlier that she broke a law, but they say she's inciting violence.
On the 12th of March, Akpabio spoke to Governor Dodo to recall me. But he told him to be impossible because the masses are with her, the people are with her. But Akpabio was not satisfied. He then sent for Yahaya Bello. And it was actually Senator Asukwo from Cross River that drove Yahaya Bello from Hilton Hotel. I was informed of everything. And when I got to know, hold on, the meetings was in two folds. He told him to commence my recall. And that he was going to fund it. Of course, monies changed hands that night. The second thing he told him was that he should try and kill me. I didn't make this public, but I wrote to the IG of police. And Pablo told Yahaya Bello, I am saying, sorry about what I've said. He told him that he should make sure that killing me does not happen in Abuja. It should be done here. So it will seem as if it's the people that killed me here. I didn't make that public, but we did notify the security agencies of that. And he called a number of people in the cabinet, questioned them. How come that project found its way here? And he said, in his words, he said, how can such resources, gas from the Niger Delta, be moved to the north? That he will stop it. And I will prove to you what he did. After the Senate President removed me, by the way, it is because of the 5 LNG projects that Akpabio removed me from the Committee of Local Content. Because he said, ever since he made me as the chairperson of Local Content, I have used that office to promote the North. That was what he said.
Uh-oh. Tribalism don't enter.
So this is
Tribalism has entered the chat.
okay. So this is the Senator Natasha, where they say they gathered 250,000 signature petition to remove her from National Assembly. This video now today as she go her hometown to go greet her people, where the people come out to receive and welcome her. So apart from these people who come to support their senator, they still get extra 250,000 people under 2 days who sign petition to remove her from National Assembly. Meanwhile, the votes where carry Senator Natasha go Senate, according to tribunal, was about 54,073 votes. So, Chai, Nigeria, APC magic. What APC cannot do does not exist. Nigeria is an open crime scene. We have allowed criminals to overrun this asylum. And if Nigerians cannot wake up and speak up for what is true and to stand for justice, all of us will eventually become victims of this brazen criminality where we they watch the unfold. So, Nigerian leaders, shame on you. Shame on you, Nigerian politicians. Shame on you, opposition lawmakers in the National Assembly, for deciding to sell your consciences and becoming a part of a cult instead of a parliament to speak up for the Nigerian people and to stand in solidarity with one of your own in the face of oppression. If you are too afraid to speak up, what of ordinary people like us who are defenseless? What exactly is the crime of Senator Natasha? In a Senate of 109 senators, only 4 women. And one of those women, they go through all the victimization when Natasha, they go through. So, what exactly is her offense? Una said she disobeyed standing orders in the Senate. You suspended her for 6 months without allowance and salary. You remove and withdraw her security. Senate President said if you stop to be a senator, you should stop to enjoy your security. If not for intervention of other senators, you want to stop salary of her staff. You throw out her petition from the Committee of Ethics, which of course was an unfortunate committee that would never have brought anything good for Senator Natasha. You begin a criminal kangaroo recall of the senator. And today when she talks, says she won't go visit her people, the governor of Kogi State come out with ban on public gathering and to stop convoy movement for Kogi State just because Natasha says she want to go and visit her people. This is a bunch of cowards trying to silence.
All right, thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. This is cowardice behavior. I've said that from day one. And you're going to see more and more and more of this. I think, again, if you don't know how to control your pride, you will continue to be exposed. It's just what it is. Yes, everybody just get used to it. If you don't know how to control your emotions, especially if you lack control of your emotions in the name of your logical, especially you, if that's how you operate, if you are justifying it with justifiable things because there's more than enough gullible people that will follow you, then we just have to wait a little bit longer. I've said this from day one. These are cowards. It's not the first time that they are cowards. They've always been cowards, but they've been able to get away with it for so long, and you never know who is going to come out and start exposing them. And in this case, it's Natasha. They've been making the worst mistakes. all the mistakes there is to make. Like, this is all predictable behavior. All predictable behavior. We could have predicted that there was going to be a recall. There was recall. We could have predicted they're going to try to block a rally. There was a attempt to block rally. They forgot to block the, So today is the helicopter flying into her compound. You might say we're going to block that too. We're going to, in the nearest future, we're going to block airspace so that nobody can just anyhow fly in. Well, if you guys were actually busy doing what you're supposed to do, which is actually securing the average citizen, that should have been blocked before. If truly you're concerned about people's security, because that's the reason why they're blocking the rally. If truly you cared about security, you would have blocked that, right? The presidents, the powers that be would have been briefed if anybody is trying to fly. Even the ordinary drone cannot fly beyond certain heights. But of course, you slept on that because you were busy fighting for petty nonsense. Ordinary sexual harassment, you can't answer. You're supposed to be the Senate president. And you can't answer to ordinary. Oh, yes, I call it ordinary in terms of you as a Senate president. An accusation, an allegation, right? You can't give it, you can't accord it the hearing that it deserves. Without making it must be true, because there's enough gullible people that will say, bring the evidence, bring the evidence. How can it be true? How can you believe? You have enough weirdos like Reno Mokri that don't understand that the priority is not if it is true or not. The priority is when there are issues like this, do you know how to actually handle it without indicting yourself? And worse, putting the regular citizen at risk. You're going to see more and more of this. You're going to see more, because you know what? Power is very intoxicating. If they don't self-destruct completely, they won't stop. That's my prediction. It might be in the form of Natasha, it might be somebody else, but it's people that the forces of nature will use to bring down all prideful human beings. It's also people that will be used. So just watch, just keep looking and watching. We shall see, So now she's brought in tribalism into it, As far as allegations, is it possible that an Akpabio will say you're bringing everything to the north? Is it possible that he will say that? Yes, of course. Right? Does she need evidence? All of Nago Shalayi tired. Okay? Nago Shalayi tired. Okay? She's ready for this fight. That's what it looks like. Okay? Those allegations that she just made again, those are grave allegations. An attempt to assassinate her, those are grave allegations. She probably knows she might be picked up anytime, but she's ready for the fight. She also knows that the whole world is watching, right? The whole world is watching. So I think she has an idea of what the kind of battles ahead of her. I think she knows. Okay. By the way, she was out hanging out with the Arise TV. She was honored yesterday as something bold in front of governor, something. She was honored by Arise TV yesterday. So she's gonna be all right, because again, now they also know here they're not that stupid. They know that they can't just do. I mean, look at Shore. Shore is walking free. If this was 30 years ago, they would have gotten rid of this type of people, but they know they can't just do that. But they still think they're still intoxicated by power, and they're trying to play that it's law, you have evidence, and then there's enough gullible people speaking that language too. The laws in Nigeria, no, the people you're talking about, they don't even obey the same laws. They don't have any respect for the constitution. Does that mean she should break it? No, I think she should play their game, and I think she's doing it well thus far. And I think she knows, and I think she has some good advisors around her, and she's given the husband a lot of props, including having access to an helicopter to fly her into that space, so she didn't have to break any laws. But you're allowed to make accusations. If you don't like it, sue me to court now, and then we'll answer it. We'll give you all the evidence there. No, the evidence does not come on social media. This is not the VDM court of law. Okay. Anyway, Let's move on to the headline news of the day. I'll be right back.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Welcome back. So it's Annie back. Why are we talking about Annie Idibia? Annie Idibia is the estranged wife of Two-Face Idibia. The estranged wife of Two-Face Idibia. If you recall, back in January, I think was it January 5 or so, Two-Face came out and said they are going through a divorce and that Annie is no longer Annie Idibia. She is now Annie Macaulay. And in the past few days, we've seen the new girlfriend Natasha actually changed her name on Instagram from Natasha to Natasha Idibia. So, but Annie is coming out with a bang. She put up some pictures, and I guess she's trying to show the world. What is this? Less than 90 days later, that she is back. She's going to be the next Mary Yuela Doce. It's gonna be the next Mary Yuela Doce. All right, so let's see. I'm just gonna play some stuff here and see what happens. Okay, so first of all, some few days ago, she was seen hanging out with Regina Daniels, actress Regina Daniels, the 57th wife of Senator Ned Nwoko. And before we knew it, within 24 hours, she released some photos. Very nice photos. I think they're very nice photos. These photos right here. Right, and as you can see, a bunch of people were celebrating her. African queen. She's still everybody's favorite African queen, as you can imagine, right? So I have a strong question today, and I wanted to use it to extract some lessons for us to cover today. First of all, nobody knows how much time is enough to heal. Okay. No one can claim they know if 90 days is enough, or if 90 years is enough, or if a lifetime is enough. No one can claim that. Me as a coach, as a consultant, as a professional at this, I just always, if you're going to change a behavior, if you're going to create new habits, if you want to guarantee it, if you want to move as close as possible to guarantee, you probably should do 90 days. Okay. Some people say 10,000 hours, consistently practicing over repetitive behavior over and over again, knowing fully well that you will make mistakes, but it's called commitment. You commit to the process and you go through that process, right? So in this case, that was January 5. It was fresh into the year of 2025 when all that happened. But another thing we don't know is that we don't know if she started her healing work before that. Nonetheless, we can't use what we're saying in the public to determine if she's doing the work or not. We just don't know. But I'm going to use this as an opportunity to share some lessons. You can see even Meyu Leduce is here saying beautiful you. Asi, our very own Asi, says, the African queen, tell your team to call me. No pics today. Do not go to any podcast. You are the moment. We are milking everything. We need your own Netflix special, a tell-all book. Girl, this new face is golden. Okay. Shout out to Asi. The mom of 5 is here, of course, loving it. Radio God say we love you. Radio God. I think I'll play a video in a second here. Of course, Ice is here. These are my people. They're showing up first because I follow them. Rita Dominic is here. Okay. Annie do movie, we go watch. Everybody's just after their own selfish needs. Jesus Christ. Fix your crown. Let's go. Love you, queen. Okay. Let's see. So people were showing out a lot of love, lots and lots of love, right? So that's good. That's what we're supposed to do as the public, looking from inside, from Abi, how do you call it? Looking from outside in, right? That's what we're supposed to do. So if you recall, they said the Tokemakin was the what you may call them, Tokemakinwa. They said Tokemakinwa, I think, what's her name? Tiwa Savage, she was in rehab, she was being taken care of and all that, you know. So, but she came back strong, you know. Let me see, Daddy Freeze has something to say. Let's listen.
So I saw the name Idibia on Honorable Natasha's profile. If you start answering Idibia, this is to the Honorable, my humble opinion, I'm not a lawyer or a judge. Don't you think that Annie can sue and say, because they're not divorced, and say you led to the demise of her marriage, and if she wins, she can make you pay compensation? Just a thought. Ask your lawyer.
Kini Babanso, no? Kini Babanso. Oh no, man. What is he talking about? Let me play Radio God. Let's see what they're saying. Is she back? That's the question I'm asking. Is she back? Is she done with Two-Face? That's the question I'm asking all of now today.
Annie is back on social media and she's glowing. Two-Face must be crying right now. Two-Face, what happened to you? You left a beautiful woman that helped you build your future. For Natasha, we get many faces. Today, Natasha go dey black, tomorrow she go dey white. She don't carry makeup by herself. Why did you leave Annie for Natasha? We no get base. What's in Natasha they do for you since she came into your life? That's why they carry you to go club back to back. Annie, listen to me. What you should do now is to look for a very sweet, sexy guy. We're going to knock your toto back to back. The best way to get over a breakup is to replace that person with a better person. So I recommend myself are they available. I'm a professional at knocking. If I knock you like this, you go forget the name Two-Face. No go remember Two-Face ever in your life. Annie, please look my way. You're too fine. I'm an OG. Sorry to you.
What is he talking about? Oh my God. Let's keep going.
Hey, guys, I want to gossip something. I remember something. I don't know what's wrong with Two-Face. I don't know what is wrong with Two-Face. I don't know. Two-Face left Annie Idibia. I just remembered now. Two-Face left Annie Idibia. And we're all thinking maybe the girl he was leaving Annie Idibia for, she was going to be prettier, or she's going to be prettier than Annie. I don't understand that man. I don't understand Two-Face. He left Annie Idibia. So, if you're going to leave your woman, you should leave your woman for someone prettier, someone sexier, someone cuter. I do understand that Mary Amaka, that they're carrying themselves up and down. I saw their video like 2 days ago and I don't understand it. That girl, Mary Amaka, I don't understand the girl. Today, the girl has different face. You will see her in one picture today, she looks like, I don't understand. You will see her on another picture today, she looks different. Like, the girl weak me. The girl just weak. If you're leaving Annie.
What is she talking about? Abishim, which one?
I don't say your lipstick or your makeup. Ooh, oh my God, you look gorgeous.
Really gorgeous.
Oh my God.
It's back.
Guys, I stained her face.
Oh
Please do something.
Fine. It's fine too. See your face. See your face, G. She's so cute. God.
Queen, you're so beautiful, I swear. Like, you're so gorgeous.
Oh, I love this.
I don't say your lipstick or your...
All right, so you see when you post that kind of picture, right? When she came back, she posted this. She said, to my family, to my friends, who came through for me, the support system I have now, all my amazing family here and all over the world. God bless you for the outpouring of love. I appreciate every single one of you, and I do not take any of it for granted. May the universe continue to be in your favor. God bless you all. Lots of love. Annie Uwana Macaulay. All right, that's a good move to... If a person is telling you that you're now Annie Macaulay, so be it. But her name is still Annie Idibia on here. I'm sure momentarily she will change it. And she has 8 million monitoring spirits. That means money to me, honestly. You can see she's archived most of her posts. Okay, you still see some reels up here, but she's archived most of the posts. So, and then she posted this, it's nice. But an average human being will probably come here. If she's an average human being, she'll be looking for validation from this type of from all this love that she's getting from here. Here's my word of advice for Annie. Definitely she should receive all the flowers that she's getting right now. I think a lot of the comments are genuine. People in general don't like anything that looks like oppression. People in general don't like that. But even though people don't like oppression, those people have to go back to their own oppression in their own house. If you don't take care of yourself, there's only so much their online validation can do. Okay? And I know that's even probably more so difficult if you're taking care of children. You have to worry about your children. You have to also still worry about Two-Face or Two Baba's image. She still has to worry about Two Baba's image. Why? Because she has to carry that name Idibia for the rest of her life. Even if she decides to change it legally, her children will carry that name Idibia for the rest of... See, we don't have to carry that name. Right? As a matter of fact, in the next 2 days, we'll move on to other stories. Right? So, my advice for her is to understand that this is not a 90-day journey. This is not a 60-day journey. This is not a 1-year journey. She is probably entering a zone of self-discovery. This self-discovery that she's going to go through is with respect to where she's coming from. There is no doubt from what we've seen publicly that this woman has gone to hell and back. But that's not to negate that Two-Face also has gone to hell and back. Whatever that means, okay? But what we know is that they didn't have a healthy relationship, obviously. A lot of people speculated about that for years, but then they came on to TV. They came on to Young, Famous and African on Netflix, and Two-Face was running his mouth. Two-Face did not have respect for himself. Evident by the way he's been moving for the past few weeks. He does not have any self-respect. And it's no wonder he will make statements such as on Netflix with cameras in his face, talking about, like it or not, men are wired like that. He's talking about infidelity. A man will love a woman to hell, but maybe he is somewhere, his body won't be at ease until he sleeps with a woman. He's not talking about sleeping with. He's talking about lack of regard for self. And of course, by proxy, lack of regard for his wife. Lack of self-respect. Okay? Two-Face had no respect for that woman. But he couldn't because he has no... Look at the way he's been moving for the past few weeks. Basically carrying Natasha, some Natasha that we didn't know before. Not Natasha Akpoti. Carrying Natasha on his head. And moving around town. And basically clowning himself on social media. So trust me, this is not about infidelity. This is about self-respect. This is about respect. This is about respect for himself and, of course, by extension, for his whole family. And even after, according to him, Annie is no longer in the picture, he still carried himself in a way that it almost seems like it's a little boy. To the point that his mother came on the internet crying out to the whole world to help her look for her teenage son, a teenage 55-year-old son. You know, so I think from what I can see here, I think Hani is going to be all right. But I think that self-discovery thing that she's going through, the main work is behind the scenes. She's going to feel good about all of this today, but this is scratching the surface. This is the tip of the iceberg. She's going to have a lot more work to do. She's going to have days that she will cry. She's going to have days that she wishes that it didn't turn out like this. She's going to have days that she felt like she wasted all those years. I don't think she wasted all those years. Again, like I said, the self-discovery she's going to go through right now. I'm talking to all the Anis Idibias out there. The self-discovery that she's going through right now is only possible because of the experience that she's gone through. There's no such thing as you've never experienced life, but you're going through self-discovery. For all you single people, that everybody, all those pastors out there are telling you to self-discover yourself first. There's no such thing. Okay, you should learn as much as you can about yourself, but you're not going to learn 1% about yourself until you've actually had experience in life. So this self-discovery she's going through is as a result of what she's gone through. That's what builds character. Going through whatever experience you consider to be tough in life, that's how you build character. That's precisely why you must embrace it. And it's okay to have nights that you cry, that you feel like you wasted years, or you feel like somebody took advantage of you. It's all those is okay. But those are all feelings you have to navigate. But you need to find your way through those navigation, find a way to self-empowerment. Yes, it can start with a public validation like this, but this is scratching the surface. The work is just getting started. It's very easy to buy into all of this, and then you find yourself competing with a nobody, the Natasha lady. Like, I don't even know. I can't tell the difference between all our pictures. I don't know who that is. Okay. In fact, within a few days that she became popular, she had her 15 minutes of fame. Natasha Akpoti came out of nowhere and she's doing some serious work, as we've seen, right? And then she disappeared. That's how easy it is to disappear from 15 minutes of fame. And then she's changing her name just to chase some clout. If I were anybody that knows Annie Idibia or any type of Annie Idibia out there, you don't need to compare yourself to nobody's. Just focus on you, your own journey, and become a better version of yourself. The experience you've gone through is exactly what you're going to need as a tool to get to that next level. Okay? And as funny as jokingly as Radio Guard said there, yeah, there are going to be men that will be they will look us in your DMs and all that kind of stuff. Be careful with that. This is very raw, vulnerable moments. Be careful who you associate with. Take your time. You have the rest of your life. I don't know how old she is, maybe 42, 43, something like that. Take your time. If you have 8 million monitoring spirit, it means money. Don't jump at people will be throwing business opportunities at her right now. Relax, chill. Make sure it's something that aligns with who you are as a character, as a person that aligns with who you want to be, so that you can keep doing it. See, anything that's like 15 minutes of fame in nature, you can only do for so long. Eventually you get tired because it's not really who you are. See, me, I've been showing up here now, I don't know, 2,000 plus videos and counting. I will keep showing up more likely because I enjoy doing this. I enjoy every time one person comes to my DM and say, hey, you help me, you help me, you help me. That goes a long way for me. That's all I need. Okay. So she needs to find her purpose. That's the open of self-discovery. A lot of people are on endless journey of self-discovery and there's no aim, there's no goal. What is the goal here, right? Remember, self-discovery. So personal purpose, you need to identify a purpose. That's not a place, animal, or thing. That is a journey. So it's okay to take our time, because January 5 was yesterday. Okay, that January 5 was rock bottom for not just Two-Face, but also Annie Idibia, but also their children that had to look at those moving pictures of Two-Face dragging himself for no reason. Because it's okay to divorce, but it's absolutely not okay to move like you have no self-respect in social media streets. It's not okay. That's all I have with this Annie Idibia. We're gonna keep watching. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. God bless. Peace.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One loving up, we done enough.